Joel and Dillon had crushes on like much older women. They were like young boys.
We were so mature for our age.
Yeah.
I really like Betty White.
You can't question what the heart wants, Luke.
And so it was. The cousins had reunited for episode 3. That's just how I wanted to start it, guys. Don't get mad at me, all right? I'm just...
sounded good.
Try something different, all right? Don't get mad at me.
That was amazing.
Good job, Dillon.
Very impressed. Keep going.
That's probably something you should probably do at the end of the podcast, because that's usually how a story wraps up. Not wraps up. All right, guys. You know what?
Wraps up.
I'm drunk. That's
good.
Call it a day. Call it a day.
It's been a long week. But hey, it's a short week. It's Labor Day week. Like we have a short work week, right? If you're listening to this, this is probably the following week. But we recorded this, during our short work week, and hey, it's a party.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, buddy.
Yeah, man. You guys have a long work week, with all crazy. I hate when they try and cram 5 days of work into 4 days. That's the one thing that'll ruin a 4-day work week.
I usually just do 4 days of work in a 5-day work week anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Cody's been unemployed for a long time.
Don't judge me.
Cody's been living on the streets for months.
It's been joyous. I've enjoyed it.
Like I said, we're all drunk.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah, I definitely, work can sometimes get stressful, but one of the things that I like about work is that it reminds me how much I hated my childhood. That's what I'm kidding. I had a great childhood.
That was an amazing segue. That was a great segue. I loved it.
I just tried to break in there somehow. I'm trying to basically, this is a cry for help. So I'm trying to get it.
I hated Dillon's
You're not going to get any.
Too.
No, well, fun fact is that we actually all are 80s babies. Sounds like the name of a terrible boy band.
80s babies. The new hit.
Everyone, welcome to the stage, 80s babies.
Welcome to the stage, 80 babies.
It's the best
80 babies.
Best show, man. I love
It's a
it.
beauty pageant.
Oh man. No, we were all born in the 80s. I believe it's mostly mid to late 80s though. So although we were born in the 80s, we're 90s kids. We all grew up in the 90s, aka the best decade ever.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, totally. A lot of great things happened in the 90s. In fact, I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. I don't think there was one bad year for me in the 90s.
Dillon, you don't have a girlfriend?
You have 2 boyfriends.
What? What?
Dillon, you know this.
Dillon, you know this.
She's real, guys. I swear she's real.
As long as you feel it.
Anyway, like I said, I hated my childhood. No, the 90s was the best decade, at least for me. And personally, I know the 80s always gets like the cool retro, cool techno vibe. You have the Stranger Things stuff going on right now. The 90s is where it was at, man. That was the best decade. Again, did you guys even do you remember having a bad year in the 90s? I don't.
No. It was all the years that you grew up and all you were doing was having fun. Didn't have to worry about a thing.
Pretty much. No job. No worries.
Still no job.
No booze problems.
Cody's a little concerned about how he's going to pay for his house.
Y'all are going to give me a loan.
Here you go, Cody. Here's your loan. No, I actually, one of the things that I didn't realize that a lot of people that I went to school with that, as you got older, you started to realize that you actually had a lot more in common with them growing up than you realized. And one of the things that I thought was so exclusive to my childhood, and Cody, obviously you as well, was on Friday nights after school, the thing to do was always, for us, was to go to the local video store, get a movie, and watch that movie that night and have pizza with your family. That was the thing we did. And I thought that was exclusively something that we did. Apparently, everybody did that. Apparently, every kid I've talked to was like, yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, what? What? This is the first time hearing about this.
That's how Blockbuster made money.
Basically, not a penny made during the whole week. Friday hit, all of their money.
Yeah. Yep.
All
Well, yeah,
$12 of it.
Well, Joel and I used to work in a video store, and of course, yeah, if it was raining on a Friday night, everybody was in the video store. Everybody was there. That was just the busiest time. But it just brings back a lot of nostalgia. In fact, speaking of local stuff that we were talking about earlier, Salzer's is still in business. Can you believe that?
No. The video store is still in business?
Is it?
I think the it's still
They're
in
both.
business.
Yeah, they're both in business.
Yeah, they're both still in
What?
business. Yeah, Jim Salzer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. For anybody out there who doesn't know what we're talking about, Salzer's is a video store that has been in Ventura County, I guess. But it's been there for decades now, and it's still in
1,000
business.
years.
Yeah. And he's still selling Blu-rays and DVDs.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Dude.
Like the video store that we worked
that makes
at.
me want to move back to Ventura just so I can go there.
Well, if you
I'll
go
get
in
a job there.
it's a little retro in there. You're like, dude, this place is definitely. This place feels like it's from the '80s.
You know what though?
Yeah.
I love it. I hope it does. I hope it never changes, and I hope it never closes down.
Well, it's so weird to me is that how a business like that can still be up and running when we worked in a video store. Joel and I did, and that business went out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we were in a much better location than he was. Or at least,
Well, I
like
think,
we were surrounded by track homes where it's just, local communities and local families just kept renting movies from us. He's right next to the
Right.
freeway. Like,
I think
Granted, we did have the worst business model for like a video store.
yeah, they hired us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
was the first
that the
mistake.
back of I'm pretty sure that the back of Salzer's is now a brothel. That's probably how they're making their money. That's how they're able to stay afloat.
It probably would make sense. But this got me thinking, if, going back to the video store thing, it's such a nostalgic thing now. Was there a favorite movie you guys had growing up from the 90s? Like a particular one that came out, you said, that is the best movie. Actually, I'll take that back. It's not necessarily the best movie from the 90s because your perspective changes as you get older. But the movie you watched as a kid a lot and you said, this is so awesome.
Right.
Like, this is great. There's definitely a few that come to mind for me.
Yeah,
So-
there's a couple. Go ahead, Luke.
Okay, so Joel, you're gonna remember this. We had, and I don't even know. This might be an '80s movie actually, but I'm still gonna mention
Luke.
it. Sorry. No, we had a VHS tape recorded with 2 movies on it. One of them was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade,
Yes.
and then no, I'm sorry, it wasn't. No, shoot, I'm misremembering. It was Return
Star
of
Wars,
the,
wasn't it?
It was Return of the Jedi, and then the other one, which is my favorite '90s movie, Flight of the Navigator.
Yeah. Those are
Oh, yeah,
classics.
buddy.
Those are classics, man.
That is good.
Those are classics.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I definitely, and full disclosure, I'm going to anger a lot of Star Wars fans. I like Jedi better than Empire. There, I said it. I don't care. I like Jedi better than Empire.
Whoa.
I like
You're
it.
not angering me, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I agree with you.
I get the Ewoks, but, it's the ending. The ending is what does it for me. And I know
Yeah,
that
exactly.
I know Empire has got a great ending too, but just as a whole, it's more entertaining.
It has the best space battle. It has the best lightsaber fight. It's the best.
The moment when Luke Skywalker throws away his lightsaber at the end and he says, "You failed, Your Highness." I'm like, that's just my favorite line. That's the best way to defeat your bad guy. Just, you failed. I'm like, oh, man.
You walk into your boss's office and you say that, you're okay in my book.
Those are definitely classics. But full disclosure here, those are 80s movies. I need to represent the 90s here a little bit. And you guys know this very well about me. There's one movie that I've seen way too many movies. I think we all know this. I have a problem. You guys need to help me with this. But there's one movie that I have seen probably more times in my life than any, and that's Mortal Kombat. I have seen that movie.
That was on my list.
So many times.
Oh, I love it.
I know that movie's terrible. I know it's god awful. But dang it, I love it. I can't get enough of it.
It is great. From the opening song, you're just hooked
Yeah,
as a 90s kid.
When I'm
fantastic.
contemplating making a video about that movie right now, and I'm trying to justify why I like it, and I think 90% of it is just because of that song.
Right.
Just because that song is so awesome. I mean, it's like the most. Can you think of a theme song from any other movie that is as cool as that one? Can you think of one? I can't.
As cool.
As cool as
I
that
don't
one,
know.
I don't think you can think of one. Like, honestly, that movie's not great. I love it, but that song is just so awesome. Man.
It is great. It is a great
It
movie.
is
Great song.
amazing. Yeah, it is epic '90s. I'll throw one out there. GoldenEye.
Oh man, I knew, and this was going to come up if we were going to talk about the '90s. Definitely, this was
only the
definitely
best James Bond movie since forever.
Yeah, I that is easily my favorite. Casino Royale has a special place in my heart, but GoldenEye is my favorite.
It's Casino Royale and the new ones they're in a class of their own.
Yeah,
they're like kind of separate.
Yeah,
they're just different.
Definitely. Joel, what's one that you have, a movie that you remember from the '90s?
I have Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. That's definitely probably at least number 2 or 3 up for me.
Well, Joel wins.
I think we all lived on that movie for a long time, many years, just gathering material.
Just to get us through life.
Yeah, I watched that movie not too long ago with my fake girlfriend's family. Yeah, it's just not real. And
What was her name? Cheryl?
Meryl, I believe what her name was. And they were all
Meryl,
cracking
is
up
that
to the
Cheryl?
entire thing, and they had never seen it. And I was like, yeah, this is what I grew up with, man. This is hilarious.
It's just so ridiculous and dumb. I mean, obviously in the title, but like it's a movie that just doesn't care, and it's just the funnest thing to watch, especially when you're a kid. It's like your dumbest friends like made a movie like on a high budget, and it's just like the funniest, stupidest stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Cody? You've been very quiet over there.
Oh, yeah, well, when I think of 90s films, I think of Jurassic Park.
Here he goes back into character.
Yeah. I agree. I love Jurassic Park's one of my favorite films. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, who doesn't?
It's definitely the one. But when you was that a movie you remember as a kid going like, wow? I think for you it was probably Terminator 2. I remember you watching Terminator 2 a lot. Even though you were like
there's a lot,
10 years
but
old.
when I think of 90s, I think of Jurassic Park.
That's like the biggest movie of the 90s.
And Three Ninjas.
Well, Three Ninjas is good too.
Three Ninjas is a classic, man. That is just
Three Ninjas.
I tell you, like, if you watch that movie again, Three Ninjas, it's not. Well, actually, it's as cheesy as you think it is, but it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. It's actually like this.
No, it's bad.
If you watch it, you totally understand why you liked it as a kid.
Right.
Like I've seen some pretty bad kids films where I go, that's terrible. But you watch that movie again, you go, I could totally see why I'd like this movie as a kid. Totally.
Yeah, man, you gotta love Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum.
Oh man, it's just the best.
It's all about just
you
the
don't-
adult characters and how ridiculous they are.
At that age, you don't question why 3 8-year-olds can beat up full-grown adults. You just don't question it. You just think, oh yeah, that's plausible.
That's it.
I don't question that now.
Yeah. You can beat anyone up if you just picture the dummy that you trained on
Oh, that's right.
and just hit the key
Light up
point.
the eyes.
Light up those eyes.
That's all you gotta do.
Some 400-pound
Light up
dude.
the eyes, boys.
Well, there's actually, speaking of going to the video store, I don't know if this was actually something that everybody did. Because I know the movie thing, apparently everybody was doing that. But something we also did when we go to the video store is we rented video games. And I think we could probably do a whole episode on video games that we grew up on. But if there was one that you had to pick that you remember being like, this is the game, man. I cannot get enough of this. Like, this is just... I don't think the best game I ever played is probably the most fun game I ever played, if that makes any sense. But I think there was... I want to know which one you guys think actually was the one that you played the most. You said, I can't stop playing this game. This is just so much fun.
I think just going out of the gate, and I'll say it before anybody else does, GoldenEye.
Yeah, I knew that was coming up.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much the
people
king
like
of the games back then. We spent, even just playing with each other, multiplayer, it was like the first big multiplayer game we had ever played, and we played it as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think every kid in America, when that game came out, that game was everywhere, man. Everybody was playing that freaking game. It was everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's still one of the top games ever made.
Yeah.
I think it's like number 2.
Definitely.
1 or 2.
You look at the graphics now compared to like new games, and it's just the most ridiculous, like
it's
pixelated. It's like literally like 4 pixels that you're shooting at, and it's just like the dumbest character movements. They just like run into your gun.
By the way, do you guys want to play after this?
Sure. Yes.
No, you stay where you're at.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
You stay where you're
I'm gonna
at.
hang out with my fake girlfriend.
You don't come over here.
Well, you can't mention 90s games without mentioning Ocarina of Time.
Right. When I mentioned best video game, that's the one that I was thinking of. Like,
that is the best. Yes, you're right. That is the best video game. I don't know if it's one of those games that's like, oh my gosh, this is so entertaining. You just wanted to beat it.
Yeah.
That was like the whole.
Right.
Well, I think that game.
It was so long.
It was so long.
Yeah, that game is quite a journey, and if you actually, there's no best anywhere, but if you actually look this up on the internet, which I have, because I have all the free time in the world. If you look this up on the internet, that game is pretty consistently, on average, the highest ranked video game ever. I think that and
#1
Tetris,
ever.
like that and Tetris are neck and neck.
Right.
It's usually that one. So I agree with that. I think Ocarina of Time. Is it Ocarina or Ocarina?
Ocarina.
I
Ocarina.
think it's Ocarina.
I heard some people, some dialect people going, no, it's Ocarina.
We're probably saying it wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Disown
That flute thing.
Who knows?
I was like, it's Zelda. But the one that comes to mind for me, that in terms of the most fun, that I think we played, I don't think a lot of people know what this game is, but we played it all the time, and I just remember us laughing hysterically forever, was NBA Hang Time.
Oh man, that's on my list.
That game killed me. And when I think of like times that we would laugh the hardest, it would be playing that game. And again, it's done. It seemed like a generic basketball game you play. It's just there's like 4 people on the court.
Yeah.
Not even enough to make one team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fast-paced energy of that game, and just the stupid announcer saying all the stupid things would happen. And how quickly,
Baseline leaner.
Yeah. No.
Goaltending.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So
Yes,
good.
yeah. Though that was, and in fact, Warren, our younger brother, actually got us a, what do you call those, like Raspberry Pis that have like all of the 90s games, like you can play them.
An emulator, yeah.
I have that game on that Raspberry Pi, and that's the game I've played more than anything else. I have like the entire SNES like catalog.
SNES.
Yes.
Super Nintendo.
NASA. Did I say that right?
NASA.
I have the entire NASA catalog.
They don't have a catalog.
Cody, you all right?
All right, Cody, let's hear yours.
When I think of 90s video game, the first thing that pops into my mind is Booger Man. I don't think a lot of people have heard about it, but it's one that I always think about when I think of the 90s.
heck?
And it always cracked me up because it had fart sounds and stuff in it. You would fart on enemies and they would explode. And you'd flick your burgers at them. Your burgers, not your boogers.
Your burgers.
You'd have
It's called
cheeseburgers.
Booger Man, but you flick burgers.
No, I remember sitting and watching Cody. I remember sitting and watching you play Terminator 1 on
Terminator 1, the game, yeah.
Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And all you did
Which
was
is very difficult.
Yeah, and Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. And in that Terminator game, like the only weapon you had was like grenades. You just throw grenades over and have an infinite supply of grenades.
Yeah. If looking back, like that was probably the worst game ever made.
I think it was. It had 4 levels.
That's horrible.
Well, actually, like
You still couldn't beat it.
I remember like one of the best gifts I ever got for Christmas. Like the best, I think it was the happiest I had ever been to have received a gift was, I think it was in '97 when we got the N64
Burger King gift card.
Mervin's gift card.
Close. It was Fat Burger gift card. No, it was when I got the N64. I remember being so excited to get that. That was like, oh man, I remember being blown away when I first saw an N64. When we saw Super Mario 64, mind blown. Like I had just seen God for the first time. It was just like, whoa, I can't believe it.
Joel, do you remember the first time we ever played an N64?
We
You might have been too young.
rented it from Blockbuster, right?
Yes, we did.
It was back then.
It was our dad's birthday, and they wanted us out of the party, so they rented an N64 from Blockbuster, and we played that thing. I think we might have broken it.
Yeah, smartest decision they've ever made.
You have a massive late fee on that N64.
I just want to know what your parents were doing where they wanted you out for his birthday.
Doing
I don't
body
know.
shots.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was like, and it was really, they were kicking themselves in the foot because after we rented it, that's all we wanted to buy was the N64.
Yeah,
And
they're like
we complained enough until we got it.
So like, was there any gift that you guys received that gave you like that much joy as a kid? Because like that one was mine. Like there was a lot of things I received, but that one was the gift that I was like, oh my gosh. But like, obviously when you get gifts now for Christmas, it's not the same. You're just like, oh, thanks for these clothes. Great. But now, but back then it was like, this is the best day of my life.
That was one of them. I would say something that would rival that, rollerblades.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Getting like a good pair of rollerblades back then was just like I am on
I got my
top.
blades.
Got my blades, bro.
Get a good pair of Bowers.
Oh yeah,
man.
Bowers. I remember that.
Bowers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was
No,
nothing
those were the
better
best
than
kind.
getting like tube socks. Those are always good to get.
Tube socks.
Just white plain tube socks.
Cody was always a grump on Christmas, and we never knew why.
Yeah.
He's like, where's my tube
Just
socks?
boxes of tube socks.
No, one time I got Joel. You remember this for my birthday? I think it was my birthday. I got the Batman Forever
Oh yeah.
vehicles, like big ones. They were like this big: the Batmobile, the Batwing, and the boat. And
Yeah.
my mind was blown.
I think I remember those. I think I remember seeing those in your room back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah.
I think you had those on display. You were so proud of them.
I was so proud of those things,
Dude,
Oh,
and I
it's
saw
so
those.
good.
I think I sent you a picture, Luke. I saw those in an antique store
And I sent you a picture of them.
Oh,
because they
good.
were just so cool. They still look good.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to buy it. I have no place for it. I'm not gonna play with it. Put it behind glass.
Those are like the coolest gifts ever. I love those things. I still love those things. I miss them.
You had a huge Millennium Falcon too.
Yeah, I did. I had the classic. I think it's Kenner Millennium Falcon, the giant playset. That's like if you buy it now, it's like $500, $600. I had that one. I still have it. It's in my garage right now.
Well, go get it, Luke. What are you doing?
Here I go.
Cody, what about you? Like, I mean, obviously, I spent a lot of Christmases with you. What was the one that you said, this is it? This is as good as life gets right here.
Oh, I told you tube socks. I guess you weren't listening.
Yeah, that ain't real. Those aren't real.
Calling you out.
I have never seen you wear a sock, ever.
We got a Night Bright one time. That was exciting.
I can't tell if you're being serious.
Dude.
No, obviously it was the freaking Super Nintendo. I was like, oh yay, and I sharded.
Into the Super Nintendo.
We actually have that moment on film, and it was part of that catalog that
Him sharding?
Yeah, that part especially.
That was a different day. That was actually a month ago.
So Dylan, I'm assuming you're going to edit that into this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see that footage.
I'm just
Put it
going
in
to
there.
insert that in there and make sure that everyone can see Cody sharding.
Absolutely.
No, him getting a Super Nintendo. You
Oh, I don't care about
freaking
that.
Gross.
Who cares about these
Show
really
it-
sacred memories? I want to see my brother shard.
Show the shark footage.
The shark footage
Roll the
or the
shark
shark footage?
Show the footage of me getting bit by a shark while sharding.
Well, it's
I wonder
like
how many times Stevie Spielberg got mixed up. Roll the shark footage.
common misconception. When you shoot anything underwater. But like, I just remember on the weekends as a kid, because obviously you're at school during the week, but on the weekends is where it was at, because you'd have your movie that you rented, and then you have your video game. You usually had to return it on Sunday, but you probably play that video game most of the weekend. But in between the movie and the video games, what else are you doing? Probably watching cartoons. You're probably watching some sort of Saturday morning cartoon. And I don't know what's on cartoons anymore. I don't know what they're doing these days. I don't know what's the hit thing. I don't think they even do that.
Educational crap.
Them Phineas and Ferbs.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot. Is there any that come to mind that you guys remember going, this is the TV show? Like, again, there's a bunch that come. I know that we already know, but I want to know which one you think that comes first.
Let's just close the list down right now. There's only 2.
Uh-oh. I think there's at
There's
least
only
4.
two.
I think there's at least 4.
Yeah, I got
Ren
one
and Stimpy,
locked and
Ren
loaded.
and Stimpy, and there's Rocko's Modern Life.
Ooh.
Gosh dang it!
That was one of
Those are the only-
yeah. That was one
those are the only
of that
two.
was 2 of the 4 that I had. Yeah.
Luke, I thought for sure you were gonna say Doug.
Yeah,
because you were
Doug.
a huge fan of Doug.
Doug is number
yeah,
3.
it was. Yeah, that's okay. You're right. Prove me wrong.
The other one, number 4 for me, was Rugrats. I used to love watching Rugrats. Not so much when I got older, but earlier 90s, that was the show. That was the one.
I feel like I would turn the channel every time Rugrats came on when I was younger.
You're dead to me.
Take it.
You're dead to me.
I think because they were babies, and I was like, oh, I can't watch babies. I'm not a baby.
Did you watch
So I just
Muppet
turned-
Babies?
You're
you
an
probably
80s,
watched
you
Muppet
were an
Babies.
80s baby.
Ain't no Muppet baby.
We're 80s babies, man. But yeah, those are the classic ones. Is there any ones that I'm forgetting, like Clarissa Explains It All, or
That
Salute
wasn't
Your
a
Shorts?
cartoon.
All that.
Dylan.
I don't know. Just saying.
Hey, dude.
I feel like all that was really funny. I think it shined a light on like that type of comedy where it's like sketch comedy for us at like a younger age, and we were like, oh, we could do something like this. That's where we kind of started making videos our own. Like, it seems easy. Why can't we
Yeah.
do it?
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of shows that not necessarily cartoons that were classics back in the day. Are You Afraid of the Dark was awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I wish they had a modern version of that show that was not as cheesy. I know it was tailored for kids, but I want a show like that that's like for adults. I guess that's Black Mirror,
Right.
but
Yeah. I say Black Mirror.
I want like something
Black
more
Mirror is
consistent.
more like Twilight Zone.
Yeah. And I want something more consistent to where, again, it could just be an anthology series where every episode just concludes, but it's just a really quick scare. Like, oh, that's kind of creepy. Like, I want more of that.
Right.
But it's kind of hard to produce. Cody does.
that whole Saturday night, that Snick thing.
Oh, yeah, I
that was
forgot
all
about
good
Snick.
stuff.
Yeah. The Orange
Yeah,
Couch.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
The Orange Couch.
Yeah.
And then during the summer, it was Stickly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Little popsicle stick with like googly eyes on it.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
And in my dreams,
Fantastic.
it was Lori Beth Dinberg.
Or Beth.
Old Lori Beth.
She was the best.
Have you seen her like lately?
She's exactly the same, isn't she?
She looks exactly the same.
Wow.
She hasn't changed.
Good for her.
Yeah, good
Bless
for her,
her.
man. Cody, is there any shows that you remember watching
The Simpsons, Eureka's Castle.
back when they were good?
Eureka's Castle.
Yeah.
Eureka's Castle. Interesting.
Yeah, all the same stuff. Doug, Rugrats. It was all about Rugrats and Cocoa Puffs. That was the 90s. And Jurassic Park.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
Gak. And
Brings you a good point.
and
What's
Legends of the
like
Hidden Temple.
a 90s snack that everybody liked that's like not around anymore?
Squeeze It.
Squeeze-Its?
We just saw Squeeze-Its at what was that place called? The Winco. We went through the Winco.
Oh.
And there was a bunch of Squeeze-Its, and we kind of stopped and looked at them like we were looking at that emblem from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we were trying to figure out like how we're gonna take it off the shelf. I was like, how do we take this ancient artifact off here?
Wait, was it just like old Squeeze It, or was it like they bring it back?
It's been there for 20 years.
It expired in 1995.
No, it had the same look and everything. It was like it literally looked like no time had passed. I was like, wow, like there's just some
Dang.
Squeeze-Its on the shelf. Where's this Winco? What are you doing?
Winco. You know what I would like to see again on the shelf is Dunkaroos.
I don't even know what
Some
that
of
is.
those.
I don't know what that
Are you
is.
serious? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
You guys are crazy.
I don't remember.
They were
that
like
at all.
it was like a graham cracker type cracker thing. It was almost like not Cheez-Its, but like the pretzel thing that you like dip in the weird fake cheese and you like eat it.
Oh,
It was like that.
oh,
but it was
Okay.
Yeah, those, with the
Yes,
little red stick. You talking about the little red stick thing?
no.
That was like the cheese version, but
It was
like
cookies and
Dunkaroos is like
icing.
the dessert vanilla
Yeah.
frosting version.
No, those were delicious. You're right.
remember that.
I totally forgot about
I'll
that.
I
have
can't
to.
believe you guys forgot that.
You'll have to point. I'll have to Google it. Just look it up. I don't remember what that is.
You know what?
It
It
had
really
a
disappointed me.
kangaroo.
You had a kangaroo? Is that what I heard?
The kangaroo was the mascot for the Dunkaroos? Absolutely.
The cookies were in the shape of a kangaroo, and you dunked them in the frosting. It was
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
Do not recall this.
Unbelievable.
I'm getting old, guys. All right, it's been a long time.
Somehow you passed up Cody and Luke.
Yeah. You're getting old. We're dying.
We're on our way out.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I would bring back from the '90s, except my soul, maybe. But I think like. I think it's just it's one of those things, like, it was in the past and it was good what was there, but when I look at today, it's like I wouldn't.
Well, you wouldn't enjoy it as much as you did back then anyway. Like
Right.
you'll never enjoy a video game as much as you did like Zelda.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably true.
I'd bring back society as a whole from the 90s.
I would escape, our climate, now.
Yeah.
Definitely. But
Like, I will never... I don't know. I can't picture myself letting my kids play out in the street without any supervision. I played out in the street without any supervision.
Right.
For,
At
I
night.
mean, we all did at night for hours,
Right.
and like it was totally fine, no problem.
Yeah.
But
And we were like juggling with knives, grenades.
guns didn't matter.
We all had rifles.
what about what we did
yeah.
last week?
Yeah, I can't picture that doing that now.
Well, again, this goes back to my original thing, which is I don't think I had a bad year in the 90s, and I think that might be encompassed in the general statement. What you're saying here, Luke, is I think the era was different. I don't know if it just felt more safe. I don't know if it was just the innocence of our childhood. Maybe every generation says that their childhood decade was the best, but again, I can't think of any decade in the 90s where I was like, that was a bad year, man. I cannot say the same from 2000 to 2010. There was a lot of like really crappy years in that decade for a lot of people, and this decade has been a lot better, I think, than the previous decade. But the '90s, I don't think you can beat that, honestly. Like nothing terrible happened as far as I could think. Like what happened?
Yeah, the internet, that changed a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, we had OJ. That whole thing was a mess. No one liked that. The riots. That wasn't fun.
I think I was too young. I don't remember that.
I was right in the thick of it, man. I was just, getting beat up left and right.
You were in the middle of that riot.
And we had the Matrix as well.
Yes, which is
That's
arguably
how
my
tail end.
arguably my favorite movie. Arguably, that one is.
The original Matrix?
The original Matrix is. If you put a gun to my head, which I don't know why anybody would be like, tell me your favorite movie.
I'm going to do that tomorrow.
The reason I know this is because Cody's done it to me a bunch of times. He storms into my bedroom at night and just goes, tell me your favorite film.
Dude, it's worth it. It's worth your life. No.
Maybe the coolest psycho. Tell me your favorite movie.
Tell me about Dunkaroos.
There was a lot of great movies that came out in the 90s, like The Sixth Sense, The Matrix, Forrest Gump, Shawshank. We talked about those movies. Yeah, they're classics.
Yeah.
Who do you guys remember?
Late 90s was good for
Who do you remember being your celebrity crush back in the day? Who was the gal or a guy? If I don't know, maybe you guys want to share something, but
God. I really liked what's her name from The Mask?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz?
Yeah.
Older women, huh? Wow.
Well, I mean, she was younger in The Mask.
Yeah, I would say
Older than you.
I have said this
yeah.
before, that I think Cameron Diaz is not that good looking of a woman, but I think she was very good looking in that movie. I think it's the only movie that she was actually, like, I was attracted to her. It's like, she's a good looking woman. But everything else, I'm like, don't do it for me.
Well, yeah, not so much anymore, but yeah, definitely that movie was like, oh, an attractive lady.
Look, I happen to know that Cameron Diaz is a religious listener to this podcast, and she'll be very offended.
We're sorry, Cameron. We're
Hearing
sorry.
you talk about her like this.
Cody, who was your celebrity crush? I don't know anything about you.
Hi. Are we talking about
Kenan Thompson.
When you were a wee lad,
I know. Speaking of Nickelodeon, it was the girl from Secret World of Alex Mack.
dude,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I don't know who that was.
I literally have that written down word for word. Cody, gosh dang it, I will fight you right now.
Get him, Luke, get him.
Yeah, come over.
Yeah, what happened to her? Where'd that girl
We're gonna
go?
fight each other over a random crush that we had on a celebrity in the 90s.
From the 90s.
1990, 104 years ago.
No, she was my crush.
I was gonna say when I was like really young, I had a crush on the girl from My Girl.
Ooh,
That Macaulay Culkin movie.
yeah. That's an interesting
Had a
one.
crush on her.
I
Interesting.
had a crush on Macaulay Culkin.
Luke, I wrote that down word for word.
You guys are just stealing everybody's
Sharing
stuff.
the screen.
Cody, we're sitting next to each other, we're reading off the same paper.
Oh, that's right.
Exactly. There's one that I think you guys know this. I've been very open about this, and she has been my crush since The Rocketeer. Jennifer Connelly.
Ooh.
Jennifer Connelly.
Margaret Thatcher.
You know, it's either Jennifer Connelly or Margaret Thatcher. Which one is it?
I
Or is
get
it,
them mixed up all the time.
Gotta choose one.
Wait,
or is it
Wait.
Lori Beth Dinberg? Which one is it?
oh no, Amanda Bynes. She was. She used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Yeah, she was definitely the it girl on Nickelodeon back in the day. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, the Secret World of Alex Mack. I remember she was kind of cute, and I feel like there's one more that I'm totally blanking on right now that I can't think of. I watched it.
Clarissa Explains It All.
No,
Melissa Joan Hart?
I thought about that, but I'm like,
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
He wasn't bad.
Kermit the
Those
Frog.
Muppets.
Wait, I want to know why
He had nice legs.
Joel and Dillon had crushes on like much older women. They were like young boys.
We were so mature for our age.
Yeah.
I really
You
like
know,
Betty White.
You can't question what the heart wants, Luke.
Joel, what was yours
guess
again?
not.
Huh?
What was yours again, Joel?
What's her face from The Mask?
Oh, that's right, Cameron Diaz. See, I already forgot about her.
So forgettable.
No, I
You
totally
know what?
forgot.
Everybody, here's your homework. Go and watch that movie. You differ with me. I dare you.
No, I agree. She was good looking in that movie, but you know, as far as either that or Jennifer Connelly in The Rocketeer, nah, man, no competition. I remember being like, I think I was 6 years old when that movie came out, and I remember being like, I don't even know what a girl is, just head over heels. Whoever this
Dylan was
woman is
very
gorgeous.
sheltered.
Like I said, horrible
And
childhood.
You were sheltered and beaten.
You were there, putting gun to my head, saying, "What movie is your favorite?" All right, guys. I think we're it. I think we've taken this trip down memory lane, and we've now realized how much it sucks getting old.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is such a downer.
Super
Sad
super
note.
depressed now.
And on a positive note there.
Now, life is. Hey, could you say that, for the most part, your life hasn't gotten like worse? It's just changed, maybe for the better. Could you say that?
No, I got
Nope.
worse.
Well, then, to hell with it.
Ever since 2000,
Everything's been downhill. What happened in
Downhill from
2000,
there.
Cody? You want to open up about something?
freaking Y2K, bro.
Got everybody that bug.
Messed me up.
It only hit Cody. That was
I was the only one affected.
every one of Cody's computers went down on
Why are you a
Y2K.
cyborg?
They didn't update me in time.
All right. Well, I guess that's it, guys. I think we're all done for today. So thank you, everybody out there who came back and listened to us. Really appreciate you guys coming back. Just,
Yeah, keep
choosing us.
listening.
Yeah. It's awesome. I hope you guys are just really entertained. And if you guys have anything you guys want to send to us, questions, comments, you can email us. Of course, subscribe to our channel. You found us on SoundCloud and iTunes. Check us out there. But we'll be back next week with more and exciting stuff. We're going to probably have some guests actually on pretty soon. So this is going to be pretty exciting stuff. So you should tune in for that. Yeah, good stuff. But until then, take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Peace out.
Bye.